live because I already hit the thing.
Oh, are we really?
We
All
are.
right.
Oh well.
Are you also recording now?
I
Okay,
just
cool.
wanted to let you know that.
That's totally fine, and I appreciate that, so that I don't say something ridiculous. Exposed. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's episode 197 of The Platformers, a show about nerd culture and video games. I'm your host, Brian Barnett.
I'm Joshua Mobley.
I'm Chris Shriver.
And this week we're going to talk about a lot of things. And we're going to have an interesting topic to get to before too long. But, Chris, you had something you wanted to start this show off with.
Boy, do I. So, gentlemen, you've probably, and viewers alike, Harry in the chat, hello. You've probably seen
Hey, Harry.
This Instagram post here. I'm going to open this.
Nope.
Here we go. This product here, this is for and I sent this to Brian and Josh ahead of time so they know what it is I'm talking about. But
and I love it.
And this is a Halloween Bulbasaur. So,
oh yes,
for those that don't know, my fiance is obsessed with Bulbasaur. She thinks he's the cutest thing.
As am I.
He is one of the cutest things.
He is.
Yeah.
We have several. I'm going to cover up Brian with it. We have several holiday Bulbasaurs in our home, or rather, just several Bulbasaurs in our home. So,
oh my God, you have several real live Bulbasaurs.
I've been growing them. That's all I did over COVID was perfect the means of. Look at that, there he is.
Literally have one right here.
I have a sleeping one on my couch right now. So
I don't think I have one anymore, but I got one when I got my Game Boy Color. I got what was it? Was it Pokemon Yellow or something like that? I forget what it was. It was some version of Pokemon, and then my parents got me like a back to school kit that had like a Bulbasaur pencil sharpener and like a glow in the dark Pikachu for like a night light or something. Like it was
That's
a bunch of cool stuff like that.
Anyway, so this is one of those things that you would get on like an Instagram ad or a Facebook ad, and like I like to say that I don't order these things, but sometimes I do. And like this was one of the ones where Jess saw it and was like, "We have to buy this," and I was like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's not gonna look this good when it comes in, but okay.
Yeah.
So we ordered it. It was like $35. It took like 6 weeks to get here from China.
Jesus.
It came today.
Nice.
And I opened up the package, and let me tell you, it just made my day. Like, I laughed.
Is it a beautiful boy?
Oh, I'll let you be the judge of that. This is it right here.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. He's a good boy.
Well,
so that's him.
Does not look anything like advertised.
No.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put the picture back up. Hold on.
He's a little bit
wonky.
like he's been left in the sun
He's
a little too long.
Wonky. So there's the one I bought, or there's the one that I thought I bought, and then there's the one that showed up today. So
wow, yeah, that is
the best thing about. There's two really great things about this. Let me move this out of the way. One of them
that is amazing.
One of them is that it like there was a sticker on the box and it was like requires 3 L41 batteries to light this candle, and it doesn't come with the batteries. So the little candle that it comes with is like a dollar store thing. It doesn't light on its own. The pumpkin doesn't match up, and not only that, the pumpkin actually separates so that you're just left with this horrifying Bulbasaur with no pod on it.
So it's not attached?
It's just a frog, and then this is the jack-o'-lantern.
Chris, I have the STL file of sort of what you want. Although it is not that big. Would you like one?
If you are willing to spend the money on the stuff. Jess hasn't seen it in person yet. I'm purposely leaving it in here so that
I love
when she comes in, she can just be like, "Is that it?"
You're
like kinda.
I sent her a picture of it, and she just started cracking up. Apparently, Harry says it's Bulbaderp, which is pretty accurate. But yeah, like it's just the ugliest little thing. But I thought.
Yeah.
So if you ever see that ad on Facebook, don't save your shekels unless you want this ugly son of a bitch.
Don't buy that stuff anyway. Usually.
Yeah,
right?
usually. I did. There was the other incident where, with the Valentine's Day plushie, I was like, oh, this company's not even real. And it was a Bulbasaur, like, Valentine's Day version. And I flipped out at this guy on, like, over email for, like, 3 weeks. And then, like, went to PayPal, escalated it, got all my money back. And then this thing showed up, like, 3 months later. And it was a real, very high-quality item. And I was like, oh, my God.
Wow.
I was such a jerk to that guy.
Then you had to go back and be like, hey.
Did you go back to him?
I did not. The site doesn't even exist anymore. I was like, it looked like it was a scam.
It's the most high quality scam ever.
I was impressed.
It took 3 months to arrive, so in 3 years, your identity will be stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just time delay.
But
yeah, and then you won't know.
Yeah.
Where it came from.
God, that is such a knockoff. I am so bummed because like that, the picture. Like, yes,
the picture's cool as hell.
That looks great.
Yeah, the picture's real cool. But
that looks like Overwatch Halloween themed skin quality variant of Bulbasaur, which is exactly what you want, you know.
But honestly,
and then this is like, what if normal Bulbasaur but pumpkin and it was carved into?
Yeah.
And also it's not quite sitting right on its back. Mm-hmm. Like, this is too high up. There's too much Bulbabutt underneath it.
Bulbabutt.
You know.
Bulbabutt.
Bulbabutt.
But yeah. Yeah. So that's
the thing.
That is funny. Don't buy things from Facebook, people, please.
Yeah, do not. Save your shekels.
Yeah.
Even if you're like, this is such a good deal, though. Don't do it.
It usually is not. Yeah.
Yeah. You're being had.
Mm-hmm. So, what shall we talk about next?
I don't know.
I don't know, Mr. Host.
Well, perhaps I will just mention very briefly that since the last time we recorded, thank you, Chris. Since the last time we recorded, I was actually offered a full-time position at IGN on the guides team. So today was my very first day working as a staff writer at IGN, which is very, very cool.
Yay.
So I thank you very much. So so for the rest of this year, I will be working as a staff writer on guides. My first project is working on Far Cry 6, which I'll be getting into very soon.
Did you know that Giancarlo Esposito is the villain in that game? And also that it will be available on the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5?
I do now. Thanks.
I did know that, Chris. Thank you.
Did you also know that Deathloop is available now?
Yeah.
I did actually, yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited to jump into it. I actually had kind of gone on blackout on Far Cry 6 because I was like, yeah, I'll probably get to this. And it looks interesting, you know, and it looks more interesting than 5, which I kind of bounced off of. But I really loved 4. I never played any of the other ones. But yeah, people keep telling me that 3 is like the best one, but I need to find like some mods for PC or something to improve the graphics because I can't take it.
It was like a PS3 game. So
exactly. And I've realized that I need my games to look crispy. So yeah. But anyway, thank you very much. A bunch of people, when I announced it on Twitter, a bunch of people reacted very positively and warmly. I feel extremely welcome. And I want to thank everybody over at IGN for welcoming me with open arms into an even more expansive role than I have been. So this is a good year. Good year. So let's blast through what we've been playing real quick, and then let's get into the main topic of the show. I don't think there's any like major.
There was the Nintendo thing, but
yeah. What do you mean there was no major news? What are you talking about? This is some of the biggest news in my life this year.
I think you need to understand and sympathize. This has been a very busy week for me. I've forgotten. I thought that we had already done all of this.
No,
It's
that
been
happened
so
last week
long.
after we had already recorded the show.
Okay. Chris, quick rundown of what we got from this direct.
A new Chocobo Racing is coming exclusively to the Nintendo Switch. A 3D Kirby game is coming to the Nintendo Switch.
Which
N64 and Genesis games, along with N64 controller and Genesis controller. Banjo motherfucking Kazooie is coming onto the Nintendo Switch at some point.
Okay.
Bayonetta 3 gameplay.
I don't remember what episode this was. I did not note it, but in the bowels of our Google document for the show notes, we have Nintendo 64 mini prediction. So if we want to, we could get into them bringing 64 to Switch and like which games they brought versus the games we thought they were going to bring. But
I don't. Well, the N64 Mini is not going to happen at this point.
No,
I think this.
I don't think it'll happen now.
No, if it happens,
I don't think it'll happen ever.
If it happens, it won't be in the next 5 years. I don't think.
Yes. But because I think that this is basically what we're getting instead of that, which I actually prefer.
Yeah.
To having like little bespoke consoles that I never use. Like my Super Nintendo Mini is back there behind the 35th anniversary pin collection from Mario, and I just never play it because why would I? got my Switch plugged in. It's fine. But we had, I don't know if you've looked at this list anytime recently, but we had.
How old is this?
It's from ages ago when we were like, I think it might have been right after they announced the Super NES Classic. I don't remember, but we were like, we're gonna get a Nintendo 64 Classic at some point, and here's what's gonna be on it.
I remember there being rumors a while ago because I made some like really terrible image on the IGN Instagram. Like I made my own like artwork for it. Yeah, and I was convinced this was going to happen at one point.
So I'm just gonna do a quick rundown of what we said would be on it.
Go for it.
Now, I don't remember if this was like, yo, this is our prediction, or if this was like, this is our prediction, but we're kind of blue skying it a little bit. Number one, Ocarina of Time, because you can't not.
Well, yeah.
Right?
It's like one of the marquee titles.
Yeah. Mario 64, Majora's Mask, Star Fox 64, Wave Race, Mario Party.
Hold on.
Okay, are we going to go through and actually see
I'm
which
trying
ones
to I'm trying to see if so far everyone that you've said is on there except for Mario Party. And Wave Race. Wave Race is not on there. Keep going.
Okay, so I'm going to mark these with minuses. Mario Party. Smash Brothers.
No.
Mario Kart 64.
Yes.
Is on there, yeah. Diddy Kong Racing.
No.
Not on there. Donkey Kong 64.
No.
I think that was a Chris Shriver pick. Mario
What
Party
the fuck
2.
does that mean?
No, I think that you were the one who was like, that has to be on there.
It has to be. It should be.
Yeah.
It's not.
It should be. It's not. Mario Party 2?
No.
Wow, I cannot fucking believe this one was on here. This had to have been another Chris Shriver pick. Cruisin USA.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not, but instead we got a new Cruisin USA on the Switch.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Pokemon Snap.
That is on there.
Which is on there.
Yeah.
Turok.
No.
No.
Pilot Wings.
Turok isn't, but you can get the HD remake. Pilot Wings is on here, I think.
The Turok isn't on there, but you can get it on Switch.
Pilot Wings is not on here.
Okay, Pilot Wings is not on there. Kirby and the Crystal Shards.
That is coming at a later date.
Okay, so I'm counting that.
That is on there. That is on there.
Excite Bike 64?
No.
Okay, no. Bomberman 64?
No.
F-Zero?
Yes.
It is there. Yeah.
Is it there or is it coming?
It's coming later.
It might be coming.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. That counts.
Yeah.
1080?
No.
No. Snowboard Kids?
No.
Unfortunately, no.
Unfortunately,
okay,
not.
so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we picked 21 games, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 9 of them. Good.
I can't believe. Well, no, I can. Like Banjo-Kazooie, I didn't put Banjo-Kazooie on there because Microsoft owns them. Because
yeah, I mean, why? Yeah,
why would they put Banjo-Kazooie on there and not Donkey Kong 64? What probably was my rationale.
Probably,
like that game's already on the Wii U
Kong,
Virtual Console.
Yeah,
that should be an easy
Makes
win.
sense.
And it's not. Weird. It's weird to me that Winback is in this list of games that are coming. Like, I thought that was a game that only I remembered. And then they were like, no, Winback.
Because I don't remember that.
Yeah, they're like, Winback's coming. I was like, really? It's a very obscure choice.
I mean, also, I'm pretty shocked that we're getting like some very, very like not Nintendo games that are coming. Like Chocobo. Like that is a PlayStation game.
It
very
is
interesting.
What's interesting, well, so that was originally going to be a 3DS port of a PlayStation game that was then canceled very early into the 3DS life cycle. And now they've completely redone it again.
Heck yeah. I mean, and cool. So much for the better. That's great. 3DS's losses, Switches, and all of our win. But I could not believe that we're at, hey, guess what? We're getting 64 stuff, and it's actually going to be on the Switch, which is what you'd want. So yeah. But they're putting it in on another tier of Nintendo Switch Online, which is not great, but it's Nintendo Switch Online is so cheap anyway.
They didn't say the price either.
They haven't said the price.
For the relatively garbage online that you get.
And they haven't said, actually, hold on, I'm on the site now. They haven't.
All they said was that we're going to do it at a later date.
Whether or not they support, if the games that have multiplayer support online multiplayer, I don't think they will. That's a lot of effort.
They said said online multiplayer in the
They've
montage.
added online multiplayer to stuff like Super Mario World. Which, I think they will.
I think they are because they.
Oh shit!
It was
No,
in the
you're
trailer.
Right. Get ready for 4-player online Mario Kart 64 races as well as retro.
Oh
Sega Genesis.
Yeah!
Wow, that's cool.
We're getting it.
That's wild. All right.
I'm pretty amped.
Here for it.
It's pretty cool.
What a wild world.
Yeah. So other than that, so we did that. What else was in the Nintendo showcase?
Bayonetta 3 gameplay.
Yeah, I got a list here of everything.
Oh shit, there you go.
Oh yeah, that's right. Josh and I were on the call, and we took a bunch of notes. That's right.
We'll go down one by one here and just say our piece. We had Monster Hunter Rise expansion, which I don't think any of us
I don't care about.
So like, whatever. Mario Party, which the new one. I'm like, sure.
That's a Chris Giant, but I don't care.
Gimme.
Sure. Whatever that card RPG game was, I couldn't remember the name of that had a demo.
Art. I love that art.
Art looked really good. I wanted to try it. Hyrule Warriors expansion.
Don't care.
Another one.
We got Chocobo GP, which I'm excited about.
Which I'm excited to try. I never played the original.
That's one of Jess's favorite games.
I am definitely ready for a different kart racer that isn't just Mario Kart 8 again.
There is one, and it's called Nickelodeon Kart Racers Grand Prix.
Or Crash Team Racing.
Or Crash Team Racing.
Do you have that on PlayStation?
I do.
I have
both of those on PlayStation.
I'll pick that up one of these days if I'm like bored and want to play a racer.
CTR rips.
We've got Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which we kind of talked about.
Which looks good. I don't want to relitigate this. That actually looks more interesting than like Mario Odyssey to me. Like that because I think the mechanics and the world like looks more, I guess, fitting for that sort of gameplay. Because like Kirby has been so many things, whereas like Mario like really means
Mario's also been so many things.
Yes, but I didn't do any of those things. Like I didn't play Mario Golf. I didn't play Mario Tennis. I played fucking Mario, like platformers.
Anyway.
Mario to me means one thing, and Kirby is like, hey, check it out.
We had Animal Crossing Direct coming up. Cool.
Yeah.
Mario Golf is getting content. Speak of the devil.
Chris, how do you feel about that?
They're adding characters. They're not adding modes. Like, give me the modes. Give me the proper tournament mode.
Knights of the Old Republic on Switch, not the remake, like just a port of the old one. Which, if you haven't played it in a long time, like it's good, but it's rough.
It's rough.
Looking forward to the remake.
But good for more people getting access to more games.
Good if you want to try it. Yeah. Dying Light 2, and then I wrote On Cloud.
Yeah.
Because how's that gonna work, right?
Yeah.
On this console that doesn't have very good internet.
I mean, apparently Control on Cloud on Switch works pretty well.
We got more footage for Project Triangle Strategy, which I don't remember if that has a full name yet.
I think
it's just Triangle Strategy.
That is the name now.
Okay. Oh, is it? All right, whatever.
It's not. They dropped the project, and that's just the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're doing the old Octopath
so like
Traveler.
when it was Project Octopath Traveler or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you thought this was a placeholder name? Psych.
Psych. It's the actual name.
Yep.
Metroid Dread. They showed a bunch of that,
which I averted my eyes, oh Lord, for, because that game is coming up, and I just want to play it. I don't want to see anything.
Yeah. New Switch Online tier with N64 and Genesis games. Just kind of talked about that.
Yeah, and Genesis. Yeah, it looked like they're adding like Streets of Rage and some other games on there, so that's cool.
Shadowrun trilogy is coming. Those are, if you like CRPGs, then here's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Castlevania Advance Collection, which I believe is already out.
Very cool. Yeah, that was one of those.
Really cool.
That was one of those today things, which I thought was very, very cool. That was rumored.
And it's also.
And it's got one of the Soma Cruise games, which I haven't played the other ones, but this game is very good. It's one of my favorite Castlevania.
Also on more things than Switch.
Yes.
So, Actraiser Renaissance, which I was like, cool, Actraiser, but then I saw it moving and I was like, ooh, looks a little weird.
I've actually played like 3.5 hours of that, almost 4 hours of that.
Yeah.
Already.
Is it still good? You're
I replied to I only played a little bit of the original. I've been playing that. I actually reached out because I got the Square Enix press release. I replied and I was like, holy crap, like you surprised everyone. Congratulations on keeping this a secret.
Yeah.
Like I'm excited to jump in, and they like replied back to me and were like, yo, here's the game. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I started playing it, and last night stayed up way too late. Stayed up till almost 1, which was definitely a mistake. But I played like 4 hours of it in one go. It's really, really fun. The combat is like really simplistic.
It's the SNES game, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a remaster of the SNES game.
Oh, it's not just a port?
No. It looks way different. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like all in 3D and it's weird. It looks weird.
Wow.
It looks kind of like they gave it kind of like the Bloodstained Ritual of the Night treatment.
Got it.
It's kind of like that, except it's they didn't modernize the combat as much as like Bloodstained did for Castlevania. So it feels like a Super Nintendo game. It just looks better. I mean, depending on who you are. I think it looks fine.
It looks fine. I'm kind of like, man, I kind of wish it just looked like original Actraiser.
The drawn art looks like really, really great, and the music is really good. I'm having a blast with it, as you can tell, because I literally played 4 hours of it last night.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that more when I'm a bit further in. But I think I did the whole first chapter of the first area, and I'm in like the second chapter. But yeah,
cool, sick. Deltarune Chapter 2 is coming soon, I guess. I don't remember.
Yeah.
The Mario movie had its cast announced, and I didn't write everyone down because there was too much, but it actually has a banging cast.
Josh and I had
Chris Pratt being really weird.
We had such a great reaction because the first thing they announced was Chris Pratt, and they left his picture up on the screen, and they were like, Chris Pratt is so cool. Mario's going to talk a lot in this movie. And we were just like, no,
oh,
God, why? And then after that, they're like, okay, now we're introducing the person who plays Peach. And the person who's doing the voice for Peach did Brea in the Dark Crystal.
Yes, it's Anya Taylor-Joy is the actress's name. She was also in the Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, she's like the main person in the Queen's Gambit, right? Okay, I haven't seen that, so my only thing was like she was in the Dark Crystal. And then
Charlie
Day
Luigi
is Luigi.
Jack Black Bowser. I stopped writing after that point because it was hard to keep up.
So good. Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. Like
Keegan-Michael Key is Toad.
That is such a good.
Yes.
If you don't know who Sebastian Maniscalco is, he's
so funny, but I thought that was such a weird casting.
Yeah, that'll be a very. I'm sure that's like a one scene thing, but I'm sure he'll do a great job.
I was like, okay, I get this. I get all of these. I get Seth Rogen. I get Chris Pratt. Like, I get like, I may not like it, but like I understand. And then they were like, and Sebastian Maniscalco. And I was like, who did the casting on this? Like, I love Sebastian. Like, his stand-up is great. If you haven't seen him on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, he has one of my favorite episodes of that show.
Yeah.
Like, he's so funny. And
he's young
such a,
in
like,
that.
Yeah, he's such a weird guy who's like very particular about a lot of stuff. He's very funny to watch, but I was like, who looks at this guy and watches his work? I don't know if he's done voices. I definitely haven't seen him in anything. And was like, yeah, I think this guy needs to be in the Mario movie. I was just like, this is awesome. Like, I'm glad he's getting work.
Yeah.
You know, get money, get paid. I thought that was funny. It was one of those things where Josh and I were like, wow, what are you doing with the initial, you know, Chris Pratt in your face? And then as it went on, we were like, yes, hell yeah, Charlie Day Luigi, Jack Black Bowser, fuck yeah. Like, this is awesome. So
it went on and it got better.
Just better and better.
And better. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited to I have no idea what to expect with this one now.
Yeah. So, you know, be excited. They showed a bunch more Splatoon 3, which looks like Splatoon. If you like Splatoon, it's more Splatoon.
If you like Splatoon, now with mammals.
Yeah.
And honestly, a lot of different locales. I thought a lot of the level design looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Bayonetta 3 footage.
Yeah.
That's what they closed out with, which I never play. I own Bayonetta 1 and 2, like the little collection thing, and I've played Bayonetta 1 a couple times, never played Bayonetta 2. And then when they were showing Bayonetta 3, I was like, man, maybe I gotta go play 2, because it's like, these are so good. These are so good. They're so funny.
So weird, because I'm into Devil May Cry, but I could never get into Bayonetta. I feel like
it's one or the other. Like, you either are a Devil May Cry person or a Bayonetta person.
Definitely not a Devil May Cry person, other than DMC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think Bayonetta is like ridiculously fun and also just ridiculous.
Yeah, the writing in the first game at the beginning is painful. I couldn't deal with it.
I mean, it is, but that's part of its charm, is that it's kind of painful. But like as you go on and they learn more about it, like what's actually going on, it gets great.
Yeah, that's dope.
So if you want to play a game where you punch God into the sun, then go play it.
Punch God into the sun.
Not an exaggeration, an actual thing you will do in Bayonetta 1.
Love it.
Yeah. With a giant made of hair.
That's dope.
That was it.
That was it? Cool. Yeah, so other than that, I've been playing Death's Gambit Afterlife, which is pretty cool. And the early access build of Potion Craft, which is like that Valhalla cyberpunk bartending action game crossed with like the shopkeeper aspects of Moonlighter, which is really, really fun. I've been having a blast with that. And then I played the Halo Infinite Flight, which has been an absolute blast. I didn't get into the first one with you guys, so this was the one where like I played this for several hours each day. Brought Audrey down, had her jump into it. I feel like they've really split the difference between like the chunkiness of Halo 1 with like the slightly increased movement options of Halo 4, but not the crazy Halo 5 you're everywhere type of stuff. And I feel like they really did it. Yeah. Like they really just nailed the feeling of it. Being able to go in and play against bots is so good, because like, you know, the flights were only certain hours where you could do multiplayer, but the multiplayer was so easy, even across Xbox and Steam. It was like not quite effortless, but almost effortless, which was nice. And then like it really started to sing once they opened up stuff that wasn't Slayer. Once it was like capture the flag, I was like, oh hell yeah. Like, and I was always a Slayer guy. I was never like a capture the flag guy, but like when they were like, yo, do these control points or do capture the flag. And then when they opened up the Behemoth level on capture the flag, I was like, dude, this is like my favorite shit I've done in a long time.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for this game. I'm so excited. At the very least, even if the story is no good, the game will be fun to play, which is so important.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna stick with it a lot longer than I did with Halo 5. Like this will replace what Master Chief Collection has been for me, where like
Yeah.
I'm gonna pop in for a few matches and pop out. It'll just start being I'm gonna play Halo Infinite now.
And Master Chief didn't really vibe with me outside of playing like the campaigns co-op again. Like the multiplayer didn't really grab me because like that stuff kind of had its time. So like I played a lot of Halo 4 multiplayer, but then Halo 5 not so much. And so I'm so excited that this actually has kind of sunk its teeth into me. Like I haven't been this excited about Halo multiplayer since like Reach 3 or 4, like, and I'm very excited for this to be like a go-to like staple of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And if this is what the next 10 years of Halo is going to be like, at least as far as gameplay is concerned, sign me the fuck up, So I'm pretty amped about that. That's all I was up to.
Did you play it on Series X or PC?
PC. I only got the key for the Steam beta.
Yeah,
I would have preferred to play it on Series X because I think my consoles
don't need a key for it. You just had to go to your. At least I didn't. I just went to my
your Insider Hub.
Yeah, I went to my Insider Hub and downloaded it. I didn't get to. I played in the last one though. I was going to play this one and I just never got the chance. But I'm in the one next weekend also, which has big team battle. So I'm gonna try and play that one because
I'll try to do that then. Cool. I had like done the preload Halo Infinite thing, and I tried to boot that up, thinking that would be where it was, and it was like you're too early. So I was like, oh, okay, well I guess I'll just go to Steam where they gave me the key for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if that's available on Insider Hub, then I'll just check my Series X for next weekend, and we'll check back in on that then.
Cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to get more time with it because it is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Hopefully, I actually have time to do it this weekend.
That grappling hook is real good.
I didn't get to mess with that one much, but it was cool.
Have you guys? Did you guys get into anything this week before we get into our topic?
Not really.
Not too much. Same old stuff. So.
I tried to dip into Cruisin USA or not Cruisin USA,
Cruisin Blast.
Cruisin Blast. I played a few matches of it, but or races rather. But that's not enough for me to speak at any great length. It's very colorful. Yeah.
I didn't really talk much about Death's Gambit Afterlife, but I'm like a few bosses in. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Nice.
Playing it on Switch and PC because I was sent a Switch key for it, but then the like kit also was like, hey, here's the beta branch code for PC, and I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I've also I bought Death's Gambit a while ago, waiting for this thing to come out, not expecting to get a key for it. So I played it on both, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I like it on a bigger screen, so it's one of those games that I'm definitely playing docked on my Switch, which is rare for me. As longtime listeners will know. So what do you say we get into announcing our cool little thing that we're doing for the next couple of episodes?
Thingy.
Do it.
Sure.
So, if you're looking at this on your podcatcher, you will notice that we are fast approaching episode 200. We've been recording this show for a couple of years now, and we thought that it would be cool to ring in episode 200 with a bang, talking about some of our favorite stuff. And so, starting this episode and going every week until we finally do the grand finale on episode 200, we're going to be going through each of our personal top 20 games of all time. So we'll be doing 5 games from each of us each episode, starting this week with numbers 20 through 16. And so I'm guessing we can probably just work our way up, starting with 20, and we'll go person to person and just kind of say a few words, why these things are there, what they kind of mean to us, and then we may actually be having. Right now, we are tentatively having 2 pretty cool guests on some of our future episodes that will also be chiming in with some of their favorite games. So the main body of the episodes for the next couple of weeks will be a little bit truncated like this week's was, in the effort to be able to talk a little bit more about some of our favorite games. So we hope that you enjoy us for the ride, and let's get started. I will kick us off with my number 20. My number 20 favorite game of all time is Borderlands 2.
Gee willikers, who'd have thought?
Yeah, it is Borderlands was one of the first games that I ever like walked into a store and bought like sight unseen. There was a video going up on a monitor it was like in a GameStop in Missouri City, Texas. And I walked in and I bought 2 games, and I hadn't heard anything about them. And one of them was BlazBlue Calamity Trigger, the first BlazBlue game, and one of them was Borderlands 1. And I fucking nailed it on both of them because both those games are amazing. Borderlands was the first game that really captured that like loot grind in the same way that Diablo did, in a way that I found like very, very satisfying. It also has like just incredibly solid first-person shooter mechanics. It has a really interesting world that's also like goofy in a way. Like the writing was really good. Even if the story in the first one didn't do a whole lot for me, the second game ramped it up and introduced Handsome Jack, which I think is like one of the best video game villains. I know he like kind of rubs some people the wrong way, but as we've talked about on the show, like I've 100%ed this game like 4 or 5 times. Like I did it on PS3, on 360, with the Handsome Jack collection on like Xbox One and PS4, and I platinumed this game on Vita. Like I love running around in that world. The gameplay loop is incredibly satisfying, and I really love it. So for that reason, it is my number 20 on my top 20 games of all time.
Still think you might be one of the only people on Earth with a platinum in Vita.
We check. No, we I don't know how we can check to verify.
Oh, it's almost like PSN profiles.
No, because we did this already. They merged PS3 and Vita, so you're lumped in with all those suckers.
Yeah.
Would I be able to fire up my Vita and see?
No.
Or would it have sunk?
Might have sunk.
Synced. Sunk? Is it sunk or synced?
Sedincted.
I don't like synced.
It's synced.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's how English works.
it's like hung or hanged. Like it's hanged, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
Well.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, bud. That's how it works.
But that is it.
Right?
Yeah. I don't make the rules.
Well, if it's like I hung some pictures, that's correct, right? You don't say I hanged some pictures.
I hanged some pictures.
No, it is. So. It is hanged. It is. That's why I'm saying I don't like it.
I don't trust it.
You're to be hanged by the neck until dead.
I mean, yeah, there's that, and I say, yeah, that's right. But the other way, I'm like,
it's not. It's the what is it? The Arcana is not the hung man. It's the hanged man.
You there, well hung stable boy.
Wow.
Anyway,
it's a producer's reference.
Anyway, Chris, my boy, what's your number 20?
My number 20 is Mario Kart 8.
Oh,
yeah,
not deluxe.
Not deluxe, and I have a very good reason. I had deluxe written about 5 minutes ago, and I looked at it and I went, no. So
Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U.
Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. The only reason being because you get the satisfaction of unlocking items in it.
Good fucking point, my dude.
Yep.
Good point.
No, so Mario Kart 8, I mean, granted, like, I'm now going to speak at length about all the times that I've spent on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on my Switch, but not that I didn't play a lot of Mario Kart 8 on my Wii U. That being said, I think it has a really great mix of courses between, new and old, really good remixes of old courses and themes. The character roster is like insanely huge. There are some omissions,
a lot, yeah.
But what you get there is the best that's ever been in the franchise. I think it's the best that Mario Kart's ever felt. You can make an argument for Double Dash. And
I would.
No, yeah, you could. You could. And honestly, I went back and forth a lot between the two of them because I wanted one of them on there. But honestly, my only gripe with this game is that there's not more content. Like that is, and it's not that there's a limited amount. It's that I want to keep playing it, and I probably sunk like 200 plus hours into it at this point between Wii U and Switch, because I just love this game so much. And it was like a super important game when I started at my current job before the pandemic. It was like how I bonded with a bunch of my coworkers there. We would play every day during lunch and everything like that. And it was like, a room of like 10 people just screaming obscenities at each other. Whenever you would get hit with something. No, it's a great like middle ground for anybody who owns a Switch, whether young or old. Everybody knows what it is, and you can kind of pick up and play it whether you're on 50cc or 200. So
the first time that we were either the first time or the second time that we were up in Missouri visiting Audrey's extended family, I played it. We were at like a burrito place, and I just popped out my Switch on the table, an extra set of Joy-Cons, and like handed them out, and we just played Mario Kart with all of her cousins.
Yeah, like
it was great.
It's hard to find people where you're like, you want to play Mario Kart and people say no. Like usually everybody's pretty much down to do it.
Everybody's like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. So
one.
For that, it is my number 20 top game.
Josh, what's your number 20?
Sick. My number top 20 game, according to the GameFAQs sorter tool, is Destiny 1.
In, though, right?
I added 1 in, yes, because my favorite game of all time is not on there, so everything got pushed down 1. So Destiny is actually my 19th, but it's my 20th.
Nice.
A game that I literally met you on, Brian, and a game that forged a lot of like friendships and like saved my life in a lot of ways, and just have a lot of fond memories, even though I don't like 2 that much, anymore, and don't play it. Like I will still always like cherish the things I did in the first one.
Yeah.
Even as I move on to new things.
Yeah, there were some games that I actually omitted from this list that definitely would have made it if I was putting more weight into like importance. And like I feel like Destiny is definitely like one of the most influential, important games in my life as well, for a lot of those same reasons. Like without Destiny, without my friendship with this guy Mark Valentine, who I lovingly refer to as Donut, who I knew in college, I wouldn't have gotten into Destiny. And without getting into Destiny, I wouldn't have made so many more friends and had such a tight bond with so many people that then when we went to Kind of Funny Live 2, like kind of blossomed into this and so much more. So yeah. I mean, it was also like a really fun game.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
had a lot of problems, but like grew through them and became something really cool.
Yeah, I did not. I took a similar approach to you, Brian. I will say up front, I do not have Destiny 1 or 2 on my list. It was
I don't either.
They were on there at one point, but for the very same reasons that like they're very important games to me, and obviously like that was all I played for like the good portion of like like 2 years or so. But I looked at it through the lens of like, what is my favorite game right now? And right now, Destiny 2 and Destiny 1 are just not it. I don't like what they've done with that game. And people that I know that still play it or have gone back to it say that it has gotten better. I don't know. And I don't know if I'm going to go back to it.
It's on Game Pass. I'm open to it. I'm open to
They're pulling it from Game Pass.
Why are they really?
They are.
Well, I guess.
See you, boys.
Never mind. I'm not paying $40 for the new hotness when I got so many other things I need to play.
Yeah.
Especially when they're going to take all the things you buy away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm going to get all my Battle Pass goodness from Halo Infinite.
That being said, like Destiny, at least for me, not to steal, too much of Josh's thunder, like it will always hold a special place in my heart. Like, I will, Hawkmoon, Chris Shriver has Hawkmoon in parentheses, will always be a Facebook name that I gave myself. Because I was so excited when I finally got Hawkmoon in D1.
Yeah.
I will say, though, if they ever did... you ever do Destiny 1 on PC, 60 frames per second, Destiny Classic, I will be right there.
I will be there. I will
In
be
a
there day
heartbeat, I will be there.
Yep.
That would be pretty great. Destiny 1 like remastered.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Be there in a freaking heartbeat. Anyway,
that's it. That's it for your 20. Okay. My number 19 is Portal 2.
That low.
Dude, yeah,
that low out of all the games he's ever played in his entire life.
Wow.
That's that low.
There's a lot, dude. There's a lot. There's a lot. But yes, that low.
At this time of day,
if
in this part of the
makes you-
country,
if it makes you feel better, Portal 2 is not even on my list, but Portal 1 is.
that's valid.
There are some games that I think are absolute must plays that did not make the cut.
No, it's fair. I have a lot.
Not to say that I dislike Portal 2, but I always find myself going back to Portal 1 more often.
Well, you can beat Portal 1 in the span of 2 hours rather than
15 minutes if you know how to do it.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is, man, I don't actually remember if I played Portal 1 before I played 2.
I definitely do.
Because I borrowed an Xbox 360 from my friend to play Portal 1 and it red ringed.
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
So
worst friend ever.
I'm sorry, bud. I was literally just playing it in my living room. But I think that the writing in Portal 2 is absolutely incredible and top notch. It is such a smartly designed game. The voice acting is incredible. The gameplay is incredible. The story building and world building is incredible. Graphically, it looks like so good. I've always been people really love Half-Life. That like devotion that they have to that, I have for Portal. Portal is easily my favorite Valve thing. It's not even close.
Have you played Black Mesa?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I think.
Well then.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny that I would say Dota 2 is probably my favorite Valve thing, but it's not even on my list. But Portal is.
Yeah. But Portal 2 is is so good. That was not one of my first platinums, but one of my proudest ones. And actually, I think I have the platinum. I might be misremembering. But I do remember that was one of the moments. There's a moment during the final encounter where you get a trophy, and I had literally just said something. I had exclaimed, and then the trophy popped up and actually answered my exclamation, and it was one of my favorite moments in gaming ever.
Wasn't it like, did that just happen?
Yeah, and the trophy was called "Yes, That Really Just Happened."
Yeah,
and I was like, "What? Did that just happen?" And then it popped up, bing, like immediately after, and I was like, "What brilliant design! Like that is so great." That was such a wonderful meta moment for me, and I'll never forget it so long as I live. So anyway, that's the reason why Portal 2 is my number 19.
Excellent.
Chris, what you got?
Number 19, I have Guacamelee.
Oh, excellent pick.
Yeah, I was torn on Guacamelee too, but the way I looked at it, I was like, you know what? I have gone back to play Guacamelee 1, and I have not gone back to play Guacamelee 2.
I used that in my game selections as well.
Yeah. It was like, how many of these have I actually revisited and played like to completion? Yeah, Guacamelee, man, that game it has such a good. You can get into such a good flow state whenever you're playing it. Between
it is awesome.
The combat, whenever you're fighting in like those tight spaces where they like block off the areas. And the progression system of like just learning different abilities and realizing, it's a Metroidvania, like going back to, oh, right, that place opened up. I can go back there now and I can try and get that. Oh, what does that unlock? It just has a very good loop to it. And it's one of a few games that, like, especially now as an adult, like there aren't that many games that will get their hooks in me to the point where I will be like, I either need to take off of work or cancel plans or like just like tune out the entire world to do this thing.
Yeah.
Guacamelee is one of those games where like if I start playing it, it's like and Jess knows like all bets are off. Like if I'm playing Guacamelee, like do not try to talk to me because I'm not going to pay attention to you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a great use of like, hey, I'm going to get new like lucha libre moves, and that's going to like I'm going to be able to suplex people, and that's how you know do these different things. Like it's so clever. I love that game.
The writing is also very good.
Yes.
The second one has the last thing I'll say about it. The second one has a very good. I'll spoil it. When you're in the church, and there's this old woman sitting there with a guitar, and then she like tells you about like, oh yeah, and then the universe is gonna explode and you're all gonna die and blah blah blah. And she goes, anyway, here's Wonderwall. And starts playing Wonderwall. I don't know, just like little moments like that in that game just like made me crack up.
It's very good.
It's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
When whatever it was, the woman villain where you approach and then she's like, all right, yeah, I know what's going on, you strong boy or something like that, and then she like cocks her hip to the side and goes boom, like literally says boom, and I was like, I love this game. It's so good. She's like, what do you think? Yeah. Like it's so funny. Yeah, it's great. Josh, what's your 19?
StarCraft.
Ooh,
the first one.
Good pick.
Yeah. Old Blizzard things. A lot of Blizzard things got knocked off this, but there are a couple from, the old days that I just loved. And like StarCraft 1, it's hard to express just how like obsessed with it I was as a kid.
Brood
for a good while.
Or just base StarCraft 1?
Just both. Just the whole thing in general.
Yeah.
I just loved it. I loved it. I loved playing the story mode. I was very bad at multiplayer, but I played it anyway. Playing people's weird custom maps and stuff, like it's just a great game.
That game basically invented esports.
I mean, it was one of the
kind of one of the
ones.
Yeah.
So good. And one of those games, like the golden age of Blizzard is like incredibly polished, like amazing gameplay and really great, powerful human emotional stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like the story of Raynor and Kerrigan is like, carrying through to StarCraft 2 is like, it's fucking heartbreaking, man.
Until
like,
the last expansion.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. But
yeah.
And also just a really cool universe. Like it's not just Warcraft in space, right? Like it's not about, on some level it is sort of about saving the world. I don't know if you want to just call it that, but like it
the galaxy
has all of these like factions in it that want their own thing, and just it was very interesting.
Yeah.
As a young lad.
Plus, they gave us a bunch of memes. Construct additional pylons.
Mm-hmm.
So, always got to be grateful for those memes. That's awesome. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, my number 18 is World of Warcraft. I played this game for so long. This is one of those important games that did make the cut on my list. I played World of Warcraft for a powerfully long time. My buddy Stuart Massey got a job at Blizzard straight out of college. I wrote a character reference for him, and then he helped launch this game. And he sent me a key for it. And actually, you get like family passes. Like you get, Blizzard employees get like free subscriptions they can give out. So I was a poor college student. I definitely didn't have enough money to pay for subscriptions to games, and I was like definitely not like into that whole idea. But because he gave it to me, I was able to experience this MMO, and through that I was able to join a guild and make friends and realize like the power of being connected to people through the internet in a way that like wasn't very real to me before that. I started up my own guild. I kind of learned to like get after it and be proactive. I learned like conflict resolution through it, and like, hey, I've actually got kind of leadership qualities. Like I learned a lot about myself through that game. I learned a lot about how I like to be, you know, how I like to role play in different things like this. Like it opened up a lot of worlds for me. And because I loved Warcraft 3 so much, it was like the perfect game for me to jump into. And then after I had like a really terrible breakup, like that was what I did. I worked my day job at CompUSA. I came home, I went to my room and I played World of Warcraft, and I didn't talk to anyone. And that was just kind of how I coped until I kind of, you know, did some emotional healing and got past some things. So for that reason, and for just being a really fun ass game, World of Warcraft is my number 18. Chris, what you got?
Nice. My number 18 is Shovel Knight Treasure Trove.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! Shovel. I mean, honestly,
getting good representation on Chris's list.
Oh, I mean, yeah. No, I mean, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove just has such a good mix of different types of platformers, and it's like almost like a greatest hits collection of a lot of what made a lot of like the 8-bit and 16-bit and 32-bit eras like so great, and puts their own little flavor and spin on it, on top of a really like just fun cast of characters and enemies to fight, as well as just like a slamming soundtrack in each one of those.
So good, dude.
Yeah, every single one of those is just really, really
Jake,
good. Jake Kaufman.
Yeah.
Yeah, does a really good job
so
with the score
awesome.
in those. You know, I mean, it started as a Kickstarter, and just
that's so hard to build. Like
it's
what a
insane
success story. Like,
yeah,
outrageous.
like Kickstarter for the 3DS and Wii U, and like that game has just like been killing it since then. I'm super excited to see whatever Yacht Club Games does with not only there's Shovel Knight puzzle game that's coming out, but I know they've teased looking into like almost like making an N64 era type of game in the past. I don't know if they'll ever do it, but I love what they make so much. And for all of those reasons, Shovel Knight is my number 18.
Great pick, dude. Great pick. Josh, what do you got for 18?
Shovel Knight. I have Zelda the Wind Waker.
Nice.
Ah, yeah.
A game I have not played in a long time, I will say, but a game that like I really loved because I grew up really loving Zelda, and I remember everyone making fun of that game before it came out, being like, "Oh, it's Zelda, blah blah blah," right?
They did do that.
I just remember feeling so vindicated when it came out and you played it and you were like, "No, this game is like incredibly good."
No, this game has the best combat of any Zelda game.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's so good. It has like such an identity outside of all of the other Zelda games, which I think is what I think Nintendo tries to do that with all of their games. They succeed with some, you know, and not all of them, but this one I feel like is just like a home run. And good God, please put the HD remaster on Switch so that I can play it on not my Wii U.
I know.
Yeah.
Great pick.
Cool. Yeah. That's a wonderful pick. So we go to number 17. Number 17 on my list is BlazBlue Continuum Shift. This was I really enjoyed the first BlazBlue game, as I discussed earlier. It was one of those games that I just went in and I saw the cover art of the first game on the wall and was like, hey, that dude has like a 55.5-inch nail on his back. I got to see what he's going to do with that. And I bought the game.
I'm willing to pay $59.99 to find out.
I mean, it was a used copy at GameStop, so, you know. It was $58.99.
So $54.99.
Yeah, $54.99.
But BlazBlue Continuum Shift is where I kind of felt like I was getting my sea legs as far as getting back into fighting games. It is the sequel to BlazBlue Calamity Trigger. I It is when they introduced the villain from the first game as a playable character, who was my second main character, who I really, really loved. And it was before the extend version of the game, like, kind of gutted my favorite combos with him. And there are several other versions of BlazBlue that I love, but that was really the sweet spot for me, was Continuum Shift. It introduced new characters. I thought they were all super, super fun to play. And I just had an absolute blast with it. And BlazBlue, like, I had played Street Fighter when I was a kid, but BlazBlue got me back into fighting games in a way that has really carried forth into today. I reviewed Guilty Gear Strive. I'm still playing that. I'm playing, Dragon Ball Fighters with friends now, very regularly, and I would not, I've gotten into watching esports tournaments for fighting games, and like, none of that would have happened if this game, didn't really hit me the way that it did. So for all of those reasons, and the fact that it has, I guess I'll mention it now. I've talked about it before, but BlazBlue, a fighting game with a really good story. Like, it is a bonkers story. It's a story that it actually includes like an application, and like, as one of the main pillars of the story, it has like quantum mechanics, quantum physics, quantum entanglement, like Schrodinger's cat thought experiment, and like causality, like all observation, like things not being real unless they're being observed. Like, these are all core pillars of the story of this game. Like, it gets crazy, and it takes these like crazy theoretical parts of physics and is like, what if all that shit was real and we had to deal with it? And it's so fascinating. And for that reason, I thankfully earlier this year, I guess director of that game, somebody was like, yeah, oh, it's just too bad that, now that BlazBlue is over. And the guy was like, wait, hold on, don't say that. Like, that's BlazBlue's not over. And I was like, excuse me, but still my heart, BlazBlue's coming back. Because I as much as I enjoy Guilty Gear, like, BlazBlue is where my heart's at, as far as Arc System Works is concerned.
Yeah.
And their original properties. Fun fact, that game would not have existed if Arc System Works hadn't lost the license to Guilty Gear. And it's basically like a
didn't know
palette.
They lost that.
It's a palette swap.
Making them.
It's a palette. I mean, they reacquired it, but there was a couple of years when they didn't have access to Guilty Gear, and then they made BlazBlue, and many characters are basically just kind of like slightly tweaked versions of those same characters from the other game.
Yeah.
But anyway, that for all those reasons, BlazBlue Continuum Shift is my number 17.
Nice. Number 17 for me, Beat Saber.
Oh,
wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is that the newest game on this list?
So far it might be. Yeah. Beat Saber is a tremendously special game in that it is one of the very few things that you can hand to somebody within VR who's never used VR, and they immediately understand how it works. And as long as they have somewhat good hand-eye coordination and rhythm, they can be pretty good at when they first play it.
I haven't played it yet. I've seen videos. I find that so intimidating. So the fact that you're like, yeah, you can be pretty good at it starting off, I'm like, wow, really? I have to play this game.
No, you can. Like, I mean, obviously, not everybody can play. I can't even play Expert Plus. And I've been playing it quite a bit.
And honestly, as a drummer, I don't know why I would think that I wouldn't be good at it.
Yeah.
Because like, I use 2 sticks and I hit things precisely. Like,
yeah, it's a matter of how quickly you can process the blocks that are flying at your face. But
yeah.
But no, I mean, I will say the core game itself, not that the songs are bad by any stretch, but when you get into custom songs and mods, if you find the right tracks that like really do it for you, you can have just like an endless amount of like awesome fun playing that game. It's a good workout. It's also just like it's a really good rhythm game for somebody who not only misses Guitar Hero, because at one point I had Guitar Hero 2 on this list, but like I feel like my old ass hands just can't play it anymore. Like if I tried to play Guitar Hero now, I'd be like, and just.
I bet I could still do it. I still have my Explorer in the closet.
Mine's in the attic, but
I bet I can still do it.
I can still do it.
There have been a few times where I've tried to play it, and like I get 3 songs in, and my hands start to cramp up, and I'm like, oh my god, like it's just gone. But Beat Saber is just so accessible, and it's just fun. Like it's a very good way for me to, if I've had a really long day and just need to like do anything to completely take my mind off something, I can just get totally immersed in that. And obviously my love of music and rhythm games is no secret on this show. So
it's not.
That is why it is my 17.
Cool. Josh.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh,
fuck
yeah. Really looking forward to the remake because the combat is
old.
real old and real rough in that game if you go back and try to play it. But I still argue has a twist in games that I don't think has ever been done since or was ever done before.
Best twist maybe ever.
And a very unique twist that adds a lot of depth to the plot.
Yes. Layers upon layers.
There's a reason why people hold this game in high regard. Do I think people maybe overrated in the face of some other Star Wars games that are maybe just as good? Yes, but it is still very freaking good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and for number 16, which is going to close out our ranking for this week, and we'll pick it back up next week. Number 16 for me, Diablo 3: The Eternal Collection. So I really, really liked. I liked Diablo 1. Never really finished it. Really liked Diablo 2, and Diablo 3 just hit me at exactly the right time with exactly the right stuff. Along with Borderlands 2, Diablo 3 is one of those games that like I 100%ed several times.
Yeah.
Like I did it on PC when it came out. When it came to console, which I think is arguably the better version because of the way that the menu is set up and the fact that it does not require an internet connection, which really
I'll agree with you on internet connection. I hate the menus in the console version of Diablo.
I mean, to each their own. But I feel like the way that they customized this game that has been on like mouse and keyboard and stuff, the way that they put it on, the bindings that they put on controller were perfect. Like I thought it was really, really great. And then I went through and I also got the platinum on PS4. And then I also went through and got 100% on Xbox One. Just because this game was so fun. Like it just was awesome. Like the gameplay was so good. Like I said earlier, like there are not that many games anymore where I will do the loot grind. Destiny kind of burned me out on it. Like I had done it with World of Warcraft. I had done it with Borderlands, and Diablo 3 just like it hit that satisfying like loop. It was just giving you tons of gear, tons of money. I thought the story was really interesting. It had some twists in it if you'd been big into Diablo 2. And then the action was just so explosive and fun. It was one of those games like Chris was talking about earlier with Mario Kart 8. Like every time I'd have people over, I'd be like, hey, you should try this game with me. And we would like play for hours. Like even if the people were not particularly into gaming, like Diablo is just fun and it's easy to get into. You just hand somebody a controller. It's hop in, hop out. It was great. So for that reason, Diablo 3 Eternal Collection, which comes with Reaper of Souls and the Necromancer, which are both very, very, very super good.
Yes.
That is my number 16. Coming in at number 16.
Number 16. My number 16, Batman Arkham City.
Wow.
Yes.
It's a random deep cut. Arkham City did everything that I wanted the sequel to Arkham Asylum to do. The
first game I played where I actually felt like Batman.
Yeah, it added traversal to Arkham City, and just like had getting around the city itself was fun. Like traversal in that game is just fun to do. Getting all the Riddler trophies, and the voice acting in that game is like incredible. I love the way
Kevin Conroy, a treasure.
Yeah, I love the way that they introduce each of the villains in that game, and like how iconic a lot of those boss fights are. I mean, I remember getting that game freshman year of college, and that being like the only thing I did for an entire weekend. And when I think about that compared to like Arkham Knight, I only look back at City with fond memories. I don't, Arkham Knight, there was a lot to pick apart.
I don't like Arkham Knight.
Yeah, I enjoy Arkham Knight.
I feel the same way about Arkham Asylum.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I love Asylum. I think Asylum's the best one.
Yeah, and for me, it's definitely City, because it's either City or Knight, because Asylum was too, like, I didn't get to feel like Batman because you're constantly on the ground.
Like, yeah, you're in, like, you're going room to room in City, and it depends on what kind of game you want, really. Like,
for sure.
It's not that Asylum doesn't open up, but City it felt very alive, which is kind of like probably an overused statement. But I just love that game. It's super fun. It's probably, out of all the games on my list, it's probably the game that I haven't played in the longest amount of time.
Interesting.
So it would be interesting to see if I went back and played it, if I would still put it there. Because I know there are some that I had on here that I had Diddy Kong Racing on here. I removed it.
Do you have the Arkham collection? Because like you can probably play it on PS5.
I do. Yeah. No, I do. It's just a matter of booting it up.
I don't know if it's like improved at all or anything.
So the weird thing, not to get too far down the rabbit hole, but the weird thing with the Return to Arkham collection on PlayStation specifically is if you play it unpatched, it runs at an uncapped frame rate. So on the PS4 PS4 Pro you would get like 40 to 45 frames a second. On the PS5 you will hit 60. But the problem is every time if you leave,
patched it out.
Yeah, they patched it out so that it runs at a locked 30. So if you have the disc, you can install it, but then you have to set your PS5 to not run automatic updates. So that you can continually play that unpatched version, which is like a pain in the butt.
On PlayStation.
Yeah. Well, it's not PlayStation. It's Rocksteady or whoever did that port.
Whoever did that port.
Whoever did it.
Gah! If anything, I'd probably just play it on PC, but because I do have it there too.
Probably mods too.
I should look at that, actually.
Yeah, that would be interesting, man.
Assume that any game on PC just has mods. Yeah.
Anyway.
So that's rounds out your 16?
That rounds out my 16.
Josh, what is the last game we are talking about on this rundown this week?
Halo 2.
Nice.
Hey.
What a game.
Anniversary or just Halo 2?
Just in general.
Just Halo 2.
Halo 2 in general. I do like Halo 2 Anniversary though. Like
those blur cutscenes really made it for me.
The blur cutscenes are like let me put this on the table. All right, like the blur cutscenes actually make the original cutscenes better, because the original cutscenes are paced kind of bad, even though the writing is really good. And then when you watch the blur one, they like shorten a lot of the time between the dialogue to make it flow more naturally, and you're like, wow, Halo 2 was like way ahead of its time in terms of like game writing and stuff. You're like, this feels like way more like mature and cinematic and stuff than, now today you'd be like, yeah, this is a video game, but like for back then it's,
dude,
you're like, oh my
God.
God.
Opening, and I say it all the time, the opening sequence of Halo 2 is like has some of the most memorable dialogue of any game I've ever played.
So good.
I still occasionally, and it's not the opening scene, but I still occasionally go, I see how our faith has been rewarded.
Yeah.
They
Halo 2, man. And not to mention
just planet.
Yeah, and not to mention just all the time spent on on multiplayer in high school. Like a lot of my best friends, we bonded over like playing Halo 2, like online every day, doing like clan battles and just making up like weird game modes. What a game.
Yeah.
I was trying to do a little soundtrack for you.
Halo 2, that game rips ass. Catch the Fever on Halo 2.
Really does.
Catch that.
And the anniversary edition is also really good.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's usually if I'm gonna go play it, I'm gonna just go play that because it looks way better.
Yeah, when people say Cortana, that is who I think of. Cortana from the Blur cutscenes in Halo 2 Anniversary. Because that is you can see like she's got that wit, she's got that snark to her that that is synonymous with me.
You got that wit?
Synonymous to me with Cortana. So that's dope. So that's it. That's 20 to 16. Next week you will get 15 through 11. Then the following week we will do 10 through 6. And then on episode 200 we will do 5 to 1. Did we have anything else we wanted to talk about before we wrapped up this week?
I don't think so.
No, I don't. Resident Evil 4 is coming to the Oculus Quest 2, and I'm very excited.
Nice.
That's about it.
It's 11 days until Metroid Dread.
You know what's real? You know what's a real bummer about Metroid Dread is like I'm very excited for that game, and there's a very good chance it's gonna come out. I'm gonna own it and not be able to play it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go on Twitter and everyone's going to be like, it's so good.
Hopefully. I'm hoping it doesn't come out and is terrible, but apparently the previews are pretty good. I haven't read any because I'm still on blackout.
No, I'm
not
right there
looking
with you.
at anything, but apparently the previews are pretty good.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at anything. I constantly forgot that game was even coming out. And then Brian reminded me, and then it was at the Nintendo thing. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
This is a thing.
And then as it was being shown, I'm like, that looks like a Metroid game, which is a good thing, I guess. I was like, cool. All right. I'll get it at some point.
Yeah.
I just don't I don't know what it is. I'm not like in all the games that they showed at the Nintendo thing. I'm just like not in the mood for any of them right now. I don't know what it is. Not that they look bad or anything. I don't.
But
think
they're not Final Fantasy 14.
I guess so. They're not that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not particularly interested in playing stuff on Switch right now.
Yeah, I'm not either. Like, I just don't.
I'm playing stuff on PC and PS5 and Series X, and I'm like, this stuff looks awesome and it runs amazing. I don't want to play on Switch.
Honestly, that's been the hardest thing with playing Cruisin USA is like that game still runs at 1080p, but like the graphics.
You mean Blast?
Well, yeah, they look like chopped out. They look like X-Acto knife to like PNGs or something.
Yeah. And it's just like, I mean, this is fun, but at what cost? Granted, I'm also the same guy that like installed Ubuntu on a gaming PC in the living room and put RetroPie on it over the weekend.
I mean, that's what cool kids do.
That's what the cool kids are doing. Good. Let me tell you about open source, folks.
Check out my mustache.
Hey.
Cool. So that is what we got for this week. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and people of all kinds, for joining us for episode 197.
Should I do it?
Definitely. Get those beans. Get those toe beans.
He's gonna be so mad.
He's gonna attack.
Wow, he's very chill about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, cool.
And then he wasn't.
And then he jumps upon you. Yeah. If you want to talk to us, you can hit us up on Twitter at PlatformersPod. You can find us on youtube.com/PlatformersPod, twitch.tv/PlatformersPod, where we stream live every episode. If you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at Ribnax, RIBNAX.
You can find me on Twitter at the Jawa Josh. And if you want to see the cool video essay stuff I'm working on, you can go to youtube.com/mediaismythic.
You can find me at Shrives93. I might post a picture of an open N64.
Nice.
I would be interested in that because I had read a lot about those chips.
Guess
those
what?
HD chips and how cool they are.
There's a lot of fucking screws in that console. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I opened my PSP one time and I was surprised at how many damn screws there were in that thing.
And it's like they're just on the heatsink. Like you open it up and you look at it and it's like there don't need to be this many. What are we doing?
They're stinking all the heat.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you got to sink it.
Mm-hmm.
Or else where is it gonna go?
Into your hands.
You can find me and my band on Spotify. Search for Long Live the Lights, and our new single Sirens is up there, as well as some other songs that are pretty much bangers as well, but we're going to be redoing some of those over the next bit of time. Please review the show if you like it, share it with friends and family. We thank you so much again for joining us for the show. As we count down to episode 200, we're really, really grateful for everybody who's been on this journey with us. So yeah, from everybody here at the Platformers, we hope you have a wonderful week and stay safe out there, because until next time, we are out.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.